Hello, beloved gods and goddesses. This is Jane Quasar, and Zorra is with me along with Zorra. And today is a wonderful April day, April the 3rd, 2019. It's amazing how life just continues to evolve and ever changing. And it's just magic, I guess, is what happens. So let me go ahead and bring Zorra through also. And I've got her here. So let's go ahead and bring Zorra. Hold on. A little technical difficulty here. Let me see if we could do that again. Oh, interesting. It doesn't want to. I'll have to tell I'm going to have to turn. I'm going to have to recall her. Wow, that's interesting also. Because now I've got these two things that are going round and round in a circle, trying to bring her through. I can't even stop it. Isn't that interesting? All right. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's try Zorra again. Okay, so we're going to have to call her. Oh. So I'm going to go ahead and call Zorra again. Here we go. Let's see if we can get her in now.
Hello.
There you are. We had a little technical difficulty there. So welcome, Zorra. Yes. And how are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I'm waiting patiently like everyone else.
Okay. I'm sure you have a few things you'd like to be able to share with us.
Oh, okay.
Sure. So why don't we do this first? How about we do the invocation?
Okay.
And then after that, I'll bring you back. And so if you could just go ahead. I'm going to put you on mute for a couple of minutes here, and we'll bring you right back. All right, everyone. Let's get ourselves centered and relaxed. Let's go ahead and breathe in, bringing in wonderful, beautiful colors of light, whether it's golden white light. If you like pink and greens and blues and reds and orange or yellows, beautiful colors of the rainbow, you could bring those in also. Those are all beautiful vibrational frequencies that are coming in. And so bring it in through the crown as you breathe in. Bring all that love and that light, all of those glowing colors to heal, to replenish, to nurture you. Flowing in through your head. Beautiful, uplifting vibrational frequencies down your throat into your heart center. And let those colors, let those frequencies just be there for a short while as you breathe in again and send all that beautiful vibrational frequency throughout your body, all the way down through your fingertips and all the way down to your toes. Feeling energized as you do this. Also, as you're breathing in, and then as you breathe out, let go of all of those pains, aches, tensions that are still in your body, hanging on for whatever reason. Just go to those areas and just let it all flush out into thin air. Another big deep breath in, and just hold for a couple of seconds. And then just let go and release all tension, all pain, all worries. Very good. And let's go ahead with our very special Saint Germain's invocation of change, of forgiveness, of transmutation and transformation. I am presence. I breathe light into my heart, mind center. I am a temple of love and light. I call forth the full power of the violet flame of Saint Germain's to transmute and transform all the causes, core effects, habits, records, memories of every thought, feeling, word, or action I have ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, known and unknown, that reflects anything associated with things such as poverty consciousness, victimhood, separation, powerlessness, low vitality, suffering, ill health, disease, misuse of male or female energy, misuse of power, self-hatred, shame, belief in being bad, fear, rage, blame, negative judgment, and prejudice, attachment to people doing things my way, or lack and limitation of any kind. And so with love as my intention, I blaze the violet flame through every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of life energy that has my signature on it in any place and time that reflects anything less than the infinite perfection of my God or Goddess self. I trust God, my God or Goddess self, to transmute every speck of my being into the highest love and light, health and abundance that I am. I ask my I am presence to fill the space with the golden light of God's source, prime creator, Mother, Father, God's infinite light and love and health and abundance. And in the name of my God and Goddess self, I accept this as accomplished. And so it is. I know it, and it is done. And feel yourself merging into the wonderful, beautiful essence of who you are, your God or Goddess self. That is who you are. That is who we are. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And so with that, let's go ahead and bring Zorra in. Here we go. Hello, Zorra. Welcome back.
Hello.
Wonderful. What a wonderful, glorious, and loving day it is.
It most certainly is.
I know that you have some special bits of information and that you would like to share with our family. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you take over.
Let me take over. Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to refresh my memory a little bit? That's what information I'm supposed to bring forth.
Well, a couple of things. One is that we have a special guest later on, and that is Dr. Jerry Shaw. And, of course, it's a product call.
Yeah. So,
do you have anything to say regarding that?
Yeah. The reason we're bringing Dr. Shaw on is because the product that he is talking about is very, very important to your welfare and your healing of your body, of course. As all the products that we have is slated for the same thing. And so we'll have him come through and talk on that. And but that's why we do that, because it's important for you to know the information that he's going to be bringing forth. So it's that's why we do that. Whenever we bring someone on, we only bring someone on that's going to benefit you, and in the medical, in the healing arena, if you will, and so that's why we do it. We bring them on and let them talk to you and give you the information that they want to give to you, and it's all for your benefit, not for our benefit. It's for yours, and to get your bodies into a state of full health, absolute and complete health. And
thank you, Zorra.
So
very good.
Yeah.
So now I know that you have some information also that you would like to share with us, and then you could bring your father through.
Okay. The information that I have is that we've been getting updates on the RV and what's happening with it, and the latest information that we have is that all banks are Basel III and Basel IV compliant as of April 1st, and so that is transpiring right now. And of course, so when it comes to the ZIM and the other currencies, they're all they don't have locked in rates yet, as of yet. We do know that the current rate for the ZIM international rate is 0.33, and the contract rates they're not locked in yet, so we don't have that information. The dong is at what I understand, the dong is somewhere around, of the dinar is current rates are 7, 8, and 9 dollars. The real should be within that dollar amount as well, and the dong, of course, are also going to be, pretty comparable to those same rates. So, and of course, you understand that the Zimbabwe dollar is a bond, and because it is a bond, there's technically speaking, until we find out and know everything, how that is coming about. Oh, the real came out at $4.60, and so far, and the Zim bond has come out at 1 to 1, one U.S. dollar to 1 U.S. cent.
One Zim. Excuse me.
1 Zim to 1. Yeah, 1 Zim is coming out at 1 to 1 parity. So that's what it is currently. and of course, they expect it to go up before it is, fully realized. So that's what's happening right now. We do get updates periodically, and so would you like to add any more to that, Jane?
Well, I think that some people feel like they're at a loss because they're not getting all that information. So a couple of things in regards to getting information. We're still, just like you are, waiting for the final bits of information to come through. If you follow some of the intel, most of them are pretty comparable to the information. So again, for all of you that want to get the information that we also get, the best way to do it is you go to Intel Dinar Chronicles .blogspot, I think it's blogspot.com, and get the bits of it. That's where we got the information right now that we're sharing with you. Other bits of information that come through, we do share that with you as well. So one of the key things, if you've been familiar with some of the intel, is that Trump is really doing his job to push this through, along with the Chinese. The Chinese elders really are at the helm of all of this process and the procedures. So, so we don't get that until you also hear it, from whether it's from Intel Dinar Chronicles, or whether it's from TNT Tony, or whether it's from, Bruce and whoever else is out there. So we don't have everything in terms of this is how it is and this is where we are. Everything is very fluid still at this time. No, one of the things that we're monitoring, and everybody is monitoring at this time, is that what's key to the movement of the RV right now, which we're expecting in the next few days, is the closure of the border of Mexico. And the reason for that is, of course, half of the United States, well, at least a third of the United States is all, you are Spanish in descent, whether it's Mexico or Peru or wherever you're from. But the reason for the border closure is to prevent any cabal influence to come into the United States, that will interfere with the RV process. So I want you to understand that that's the reason why the closure, that's why Trump is doing that. Now, most of the people, 95% of the people think that he's doing something horrendous, and then why is he doing that? It's because they don't understand the whole broad story spectrum of where we are. So now they're also thinking about, Trump is also thinking he might have to do the same thing with Canada. So when the RV comes, and this is how much we know also, is that there will be 800 numbers for the United States, 800 numbers for Mexico, 800 numbers for Canada, as far as all the other international countries that we have in place. That will be coming as well. We don't have that information yet. We are expecting, everything is moving very rapidly. We are expecting the RV to be coming hopefully within the next few days, because that is what the movement is. And we'll ask Zorra exactly what he feels about, the movement of the RVGCR as we see it presently. I just want to also just kind of mention that there will be, because of the ZIM, from what we know, is that there will at least be 5 days in which you can go and exchange or go in and exchange your ZIM. Also, and 8 days regular for, the RV. That's kind of where we are at this point. And obviously, if you don't want to do it then that first day, that's okay too. Again, you have time to be able to complete whatever you need to complete as far as getting yourself prepared. I have to emphasize again that please go to the website. It's on the Blog Talk Show. It's where you can find it. please go to the website, go under services, look up Dr. Keir's information on exchanges, look up Townsend's information on the trust. You can go to Bob Stewart's information that I have on the newsletter so that you have some sense of information about when you go into exchange. Now, the other part is if you don't have things in line, then, they do have advisors there. So feel free to be able to ask your advisor if you're not prepared. Now, preparation also has much to do in terms with what you're going to be able to receive as negotiated rates, especially on the Zim. They want to know in detail what are your plans, what are your humanitarian plans. This is the reason we have these blessings. It isn't just for us and family, it's for the world. We need to be able to heal our world. We need to be able to get people out of being homeless. We need to be able to feed the world. We need to be able to change the ships. Change the planes. Let's get some aero ships in place. So there's a lot of things to do. I would, again, just go back to Dr. Keir's information. She's talked 3 or 4 times already to all of us. Those are the ways in which you can best prepare yourself for what is to come. So I think I've probably said my piece already. And I think also when we get the 800 number, we will have an urgent call. And let you know that it's happening, and then the rest is up to you. It's like Jesus. He says, don't, it isn't about giving people the fish. You want to be able to show them how to fish. So this is what we're doing. We're giving you information. It's up to you to take that information and utilize it the best you can so that you can move forward, be independent, be the leaders that you are. That's who you are. You are the leaders. You are the spiritual leaders as well. For this to come, for all of this to come so we can change, make the changes necessary so we can move from 3D to full 5D as we move forwards towards ascension. Okay, so with that, I think I'm going to go ahead. Zorra, maybe there's anything else you have something else to share. Otherwise, you could, feel free to bring your positive through.
Okay, before I do that, everyone out there who has, questions about what to do once you get your RV, and the outlines for that are on Dr. Keir's site. Go there and check it out. Go to our site and check it out.
Absolutely.
So she's done a lot of research into that, into the procedure as to what you can expect, and all that. So go ahead and go check it out. Also go to our site as well, because she's also put that information on our site. So go there and check that out, and get all the preparation in order. As far as your humanitarian projects, you want to have at least a 1 or 2 page synopsis of your humanitarian project. Break down the numbers, and also let people know that you also want to put a paper together to show how you came to those numbers. To make sure you have everything in order. So you want to do that. You want to also line up your trust. You want to line up your wealth managers. All this. You should have already been doing this in the past. It's right now. It's right there at your doorstep. So you better get things together. Don't go in there. What I call, don't go in there half-cocked, because if you do, you're going to be put off to the side. They're going to want you to have your everything in order. You're going to pull in an investigative thing on you, and you don't want that. You want to be prepared. So you want to make sure you walk in there like you own the bank, basically. You know what you're doing.
Good.
You're not
Right.
going in there going, duh, what do I do now? You're not doing that.
Right.
You're going in there with confidence, knowing exactly what you want. Now, understand the Zim bonds. They are, right now they're at the 0.33 and the currency, and then, but also understand this is a negotiable bond, so you can ask for whatever amount you want as long as you have a humanitarian project to go with it. So you make sure that you have a humanitarian project set up and a 1 or 2 page paper to show them. And then you can go and you can negotiate higher amounts, more than what is going to show on the screen. You're going to be negotiating for much, much higher amounts because of your humanitarian project. They know your humanitarian project is going to require large sums of money. So they're going to expect you to negotiate with them. And you run and negotiate a much, much higher rate to whatever's on that screen. You say, well, I need more because I have this humanitarian project, and it's going to take more. So you like you said, you go in there like a professional, and you have everything in order, all your T's crossed, your I's dotted, everything. Make sure you are ready. That's all I got to say.
Very good. Very good, Zorra. The other thing I just wanted to mention to people, too, is that Brilliance in Commerce with Thompson, there is a study group that's going to be starting in May. So it would behoove everyone already who has been a part of the trust there to be a part. It's a free 2-hour study, and it looks like it begins in April. Actually, let me see, I think I have the dates over here. But you could just go to, it starts on April the 10th. So which is next week. So I think that would be a really good idea for people to just kind of go in and re-listen again to to the Natural Law Trust. Bob Stewart also has a Natural Law Trust as well, and have yourself. It's great for you. I mean, especially when you have this abundance of money, you want to be as well informed and as well educated as possible. So that's where you can go. Do your own research as well, as far as what the areas of humanitarian projects that you want to get into. So now I guess with that, the other thing that Zorra would like to talk about is in regards to the Zim that people are asking for. So Zorra, could you please maybe discuss that with our group? People requesting currency.
As far as requesting currencies, we already have a whole slew of emails from people asking for the currency. So we're going to do a cutoff on that because we already have more than enough people that want currency. And we do have some excess, which we are doing for these people that have already made contact with us. So we ask that no more, unless you are, let's see, in Canada.
Zorra? I think because the RV is so imminent, very imminent.
Yes. Oh, now I remember. Okay. Now I know what you want me to say. Okay. In regards to people wanting the currency, means it's the rollout or the distribution of that is so close, it'd be impossible to send it all out to you. So after the RV happens, make contact with us by email, and we will have a department set up that is going to be distributing funds that are needed to those that need it. So
thank you.
That's what we're going to do. We're not going to be passing out foreign currencies. We're going to be passing out actual monetary money after the RV.
Correct.
Not before.
Correct. Yeah.
After the RV. Get that straight. After the RV, and you need assistance, and you didn't get involved in the Zim, then make contact with us.
Or any of the other currencies.
Have a team, or any of the other currencies, and we will have the team set up that will be addressing that. They will be distributing the funds. For the
accordingly.
People that
accordingly,
according to the need. And so, and no one will be turned away as far as that goes, as far as need help. That's what this blessing is for, to share your excess with the world, with other people that are not as fortunate as you. I'm talking to these people that have suitcases full of money, Zim or whatever. And you have, once you do your exchange, you're going to have so much money that you will never, ever be able to spend it all, period, in your entire lifetime. Okay? That's why to share it with others. Bring an end to poverty. You're going to have the capability to do that because of your exchange that you're going to be doing. Now, the latest that we've heard is the 800 numbers could come out as early as this weekend. And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for Trump to shut down the border. And when that happens, that will be the sign right there that the 800 numbers are to follow. So look for that. When he closes the border, you start looking for it. So, and that's supposed to happen, as far as I understand, last I heard, sometime today, tomorrow, or whatever, but he is going to shut down the border to keep the cabal out and the drug money out of America. So that's why he's shutting down the borders.
Okay.
And so I'm going to shut up and let my dad come through.
Right.
Yeah, no more requests.
No more requests for currencies, please. And many of you will not receive any more currencies either because it's just too soon. And but not to worry, because you also will be able to receive the funds that you need for your life and for those for the humanitarian projects that you also have. So we will all be working together closely when this occurs.
We have already, as far as the ones that have already made contact with us, we are working with that right now. Some of those, the last of those, we're going to send out that currency tomorrow. The remainder of the currency that we had in excess to the ones that we've already got gift letters made out for, those are going out tomorrow. And then, but don't send any more requests to us. Coy Patterson.
Right.
Coy Patterson.
Jurea?
He shut down he shut down his email and he shut down his phone because he got so inundated with people wanting funds that he couldn't handle it. Okay, so we understand your need, we understand your want, and so we're bringing it into that ourselves. But we are going to, after the RV, again I repeat, after the RV, then request the funds, and you'll get them.
Thank you, Zorra.
Okay. I'm going to bring my dad through. Indeed, beloved gods and goddesses, are we all being prepared for our blessing? Have you done what you are supposed to do? Have you done what is termed as to go and seek out a wealth manager? Have you put together what is termed as your humanitarian projects and put them on paper? Have you made contact with your peoples who are going to assist in setting up a trust for you? Or a 501c3? Or any of this? If you have not, why not? Many of you are not prepared. Many of you have no clue as to what to do. And I understand this. But we have been emphasizing on every call to get prepared, get prepared, get prepared. And of course, many of you out there have been listening to other gurus on the internet stating it's not going to happen. But it is happening as we speak. There are exchanges going on now everywhere. Private exchanges are going on now. In all major cities in the United States, and also in the UK, and also in Europe, and also in Mexico, and also in South America, and also in what is termed as Japan, the Philippines, and what is termed as Australia. They are going on everywhere in the private sectors. If you are part of a group, make contact with your group, because they are going to receive notification if they have not already received it already. But contact the people who are in charge of your group and ask them what's going on. They will have an answer for you. So, keep doing what you need to do to get ready. And that is very important for you to do that. And also understand, now I'm talking to all of those out there who have an overabundance of currency. Once you have done your exchange, you are going to be what is termed as quadrillionaires or trillionaires. Don't hoard your wealth, because it was given to you for the purpose of eliminating poverty in the world. You are the light workers. You are the what you call the answer to poverty, to eliminate it entirely from the planet. So all of you ones out there, which I term a whale, do not hoard your wealth. Distribute it to those less fortunate. and have no thought of doing it. Do it in love. Do what is needed for the people in your community, in your neighborhood. You see a homeless person, give them a house. Did I say more to this? I think not. You know what you need to do. If you hoard your wealth and keep it under a bushel, you will lose it. I assure you. So, share your excess with the community, the city, the state, the country. Do not keep it locked up. Take care of your immediate family, take care of your relatives, and then with your excess, change the world. And that is what you need to do. That is your mission. All of you light workers have a mission. And your mission is to heal the world. Bring an end to suffering. Bring an end to poverty. Bring an end to war or any thoughts of it. Everyone has an abundance of what they need. There will be no need to have a war or talking about war, because there will be nothing to have a war about. Understand, beloveds, that this gift that is being brought to you, blessing, the RV, Global Currency Reset, is to bring and change the face of Terra Christa. Many of you are going to help in areas known as what you call global warming, which was a joke, of course. But anyway, but the environment. You want to change. You want to do what is done. Is there someone at the door?
Oh, I better
yes,
go
there
check.
Is.
Okay,
I heard the door.
Go ahead. Continue, Zorra. I'll go get it.
I will. And so understand you have a mission. And your mission, and I charge you with this, your mission is to bring an end to poverty globally. And you have that ability. You will have the funds to do it. So you will do it. Or we will take the money away from you and give it to someone who will. Plain and simple. So, your blessing is to help humankind, help your immediate family, help your loved ones, help your relatives, and then help humanity. That is your mission that I charge you with this day.
Wonderful, Zorra.
Indeed.
Maybe our family needs some certainty still regarding, and I know that you've just mentioned already that it's already happening, and that we're expecting the 800 numbers. And obviously there is no more turning back. It's actually happening.
Yes. Understand the 800 numbers have already been released in Canada. They've been released in Mexico. The ones who have not received the 800 number, the last to come up from the rear is America.
Well, that's not a surprise.
So,
we did hear that it was already happening in Hong Kong.
Indeed, it is.
Right.
And in Singapore.
Well,
and in the Philippines.
right.
And into South America, Buenos Aires for one. They have already will be getting their notifications shortly. So
okay,
it is happening, and of course, it will be happening also for you. Some of you have already received your notifications. Some of you have already received an 800 number to call. And you know who you are. And you are listening to this call right now. You already have your 800 number. Do you not? Of course you do. But some do not. But you will.
Hey, Zorra?
Yes?
I was wondering if, since we're all here, we're all getting very, very excited, and you've already reconfirmed again, that it is in process and that we could be expecting the RV here in the next, 3, 4, maybe within the week, right?
Indeed.
Indeed. Right. So if that's so, why don't we just, yes.
Yes. We have more to say. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that why don't we just all together in unison just give a big gratitude boost, that we can already see our earth changed so that we know that it's prosperous, that it's healthy, and that it is already, in the process of healing because of the blessings.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, receive.
5, everybody, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We receive great prosperity, great abundance that we will share around the world, and we know it. And it is here now.
Indeed. Understand, beloveds, that Zorra and Quasar, when after the RV does take place and they have done their due diligence to distribute funds, then, of course, what will be coming next? Disclosure. Galactic disclosure. And when the galactic disclosure comes and goes, Zorra and Quasar will be leaving the surface of the earth. They will be going into hollow earth. They will be, my child will be returning to me. And she will be coming with him down into hollow earth. This will be coming right after galactic disclosure is announced.
And so disclosure is going to be soon after the RV.
RV. Right after the global currency reset comes right after global currency reset occurs, then comes the galactic disclosure.
So
then comes
also
what you term as the Ashtar command coming forth over the media that will at that point be no longer under the control of the cabal. And it will be a free media to give forth the information that will be coming forth. And the galactic disclosure that will come forth in a way that no one will be able to stop it at all, in any way, shape, or form, in any country. All countries will hear the announcement and arrival of the Galactic Federation. And so will all the people of the world. no matter where they are, even if they're out in the wilderness, they will still receive the announcement, the galactic disclosure. No one will be hidden from it. Everyone will hear it. Yes.
So my question, if we're going to Hollow Earth and disclosure is occurring, that means all of the ships that are coming to Earth, to Terra Christa, they'll be ready to pick up some people, right? As well. So people will be leaving the surface.
Many people, yes, will be going back to their home worlds. And then, of course, after all that takes, for a visit. And then after that takes place, after disclosure then fully realized, and the face of Terra Christa has changed, which it will, then comes the gathering.
That's going to be a few years down the road, though.
Oh, yes. It will be a few, yes, it will be
a number of years.
A number of years, yes. But it will come. And when it does come, of course, Terra Christa will expand. Now understand, the expansion place will take place above the 400-mile mark into the Earth's crust. Everything above the 400-mile mark will expand, meaning the land masses will become larger and the oceans will become smaller. Why? Because the land is coming up. A portion of what is called Atlantis will be rising. A portion of what is called Lemuria will be rising. More wider coastlines on both. In other words, you will have what you now have on the Pacific coastline. You have your California, your Malibu, you have your Big Sur, you have what is called your Oregon coastline, will suddenly have much more land mass to the west of them. And the oceans will become less dense, less massive. And the same on the East Coast as well. More land mass coming up from the ocean. And understand, when all this takes place, you won't be around to see it. You will be in aeroships, according to the codes in your DNA. You will be in aeroships. You will be on other planets, other star systems. Some will go to Hollow Earth, and some will go to Inner Earth. But there will be all life forms that remain on the surface, such as plants, trees. But the animals, all the animals, by the way, you're an animal too. So all the animals will be removed from the surface of the Earth in preparation for the re-terraformation of planet of Terra Christa. All the, what you call, all of your deserts will become gardens again. All of your man-made cities will disappear from the upheavals that will be taking place. You understand you are going to have seismic activity in the 20+ range or more. You can imagine what that would do to New York City. Obliterated completely. There will be no one there in them, so it would be no one to see it to be destroyed. But all man-made structures will be a thing of the past. Terra Christa will reclaim the surface entirely. And this is after what you call the expansion begins to take place. Many people have said that the flooding would inundate the coastlines. That will not happen. That's not going to happen. On the contrary, your coastlines are going to become more landmass further out, about 100 miles east of Virginia Beach, Virginia, will be rising out of the ocean. 100 miles west of San Francisco will be a land portion coming up. There will be no cause for alarm of an impending, what you call, tsunami. Not going to happen. So, all these people who are out there saying that there's going to be a shrinking of the continents are sadly mistaken. They're going to expand and get larger. Africa will get larger. South America will get larger. What you call Australia will become larger. The Hawaiian Islands will become much greater and bigger and higher. So all of these people who are out there trying to bring fear into you that if you're living near the oceans, you need to get away from them. Poppycock. Anyway, so I have been prompted to bring my disclosure, of what is taking place and what will take place to an end, because we must bring forth the guest that we have, and that would be Quasar.
Yes.
Are you there?
I am.
Would you like to add any more to this?
Well, I think that we do have quite a few questions already for you, and we haven't brought, so I think we need to bring Dr. Shaw in to talk about the newest products in town with Cecil. And again, as Zorra did say, the reason why we do this is because we want people, if they can do it now, to be able to participate and bring in other products that they can utilize and take, as they prepare for the work ahead or the blessings ahead. So anyways, let me go ahead and bring Dr. Shaw in, everybody. And I will go ahead also and give a little bit of an introduction. And Zorra, we want to thank you. Don't go too far, because I'm sure we do have a few questions already for you. Okay, thank you, Zorra. I think everybody is in great expectations of what is going to be coming very, very quickly here. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Shaw. This is Jane.
Hey, Jane.
How are you doing today? Oh, excellent.
Doing great.
Well, we're so happy. Yeah, we're so happy that you're here with us. And I just told, we've already told our folks here that we were going to have you presenting this evening. But before you begin to tell and share with us what you'd like to share with us today about, I'd like to at least give a little bit of an intro, if you will, regarding your background and your history. So, if I may. All right, everyone.
Great.
Most of you, okay, so everyone already knows of you. What a great individual you are, just even as a spiritual being that you are, that you can relate to a lot of the things that, that is usually brought forth. But as a background for everyone, again, just to let them know, Dr. Jerry Shaw has been practicing chiropractic, specializing in kinesiology and craniopathy. And of course, the focus was on ways to be able to help the body in maintaining homeostasis, which is perfect balance and wellness. We always talk about homeostasis in regards to many of the products that we have. Now, in addition, he's also been blessed to be a part of clinics that were multidisciplinary in nature. It was important that the entire person, from his point of view, was addressed, as true healing requires this. Working together with very talented holistic MDs, naturopaths, homeopaths, Chinese and Arabic practitioners, was very educational and rewarding as well for him during his vast studies and his vast involvement with all of these different practices. And so part of that as well was addressing nutritional needs of patients, which was really a very key ingredient so that people could become more familiar with the nutritional protocols for many different conditions of which he became a part of. And so he brought that forth as part of his tools. So over the past 20 years, he served as in an advisory capacity as well with 5 different nutritional companies. So that's why we really relish and really respect Dr. Jerry Shaw for what he brings forth to our calls. So he spent basically 32 years studying also with the Himalayan meditation master, which helped to transform his understanding of the intricacies of our being. We understand that as being part of understanding that we are more than this physical body, that we're also involved with we're also involved in helping to evolve our consciousness levels besides our, along with vibrational frequencies. So I didn't know this, but I didn't know that he spent, time in India, Nepal, the Southeast Asia, which furthered more of his insight into understanding traditional therapies. So he has a vast background in not just nutrition, but in meditations and higher consciousness levels, as well as understanding all of the different modalities out there from, working with MDs as well as alternative practitioners. So with that, Dr. Shaw, thank you so much for being here on our call today. Wow, what a vast amount of what experience you've had. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. And I'm honored to be on this call, and I'm honored to be addressing your group. And there's many, many great people that are connected with you, and you are a great educator of people and have developed this this heart connection that I believe is spreading around the world. So I am truly honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being
with you and Zorra. It's amazing. Anyway, you asked me to speak a little bit on the merits of CBD and hemp and what that means going forward for us. And I'm really happy to do that because I do believe that we were kept from something that was absolutely necessary for our well-being, in fact. The history of hemp goes back at least 10,000 years, and maybe more. It's actually been found in grave sites in Central Asia, places like Kazakhstan and India and China, dating back 10 to 12,000 years. And you can reference in Chinese medicine going back about 5,000 years. It's been used in ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt and all throughout Europe for many, many thousands of years to great benefit. And there's even notations in the original colonies in the United States of the necessity to grow the hemp plant to feed your livestock and consume it yourself. But the livestock eating it actually made the livestock healthier, and the cannabinoids then would transfer to the people that consumed the meat from the livestock. So people were generally healthier throughout time because they understood the hemp plant and utilized its benefit to us, to humankind. So what happened? Well, in the early part of the last century, there were dozens of different purveyors of hemp and hemp products and CBD products. Even Eli Lilly, one of the big pharma companies of today, had hemp products, CBD products back in the early 1900s. But what happened is that hemp is such a marvelous plant. It's used in industry. It makes, in fact, it's a better resource for clothing and textiles than cotton. It actually uses less natural resources, requires less chemicals, requires less intensive farming, and so it's much better to use for clothing and textiles than cotton, for example. So the cotton industry had its part in suppressing hemp. The other thing is building materials. It actually has been shown to be superior to many different kinds of building materials and can be used in many different ways. It's very versatile. So the building industry had its part in suppressing it. Big Pharma, of course, had its part in suppressing it because around the beginning of last century is when money was invested into allopathic medicine and taken away from things like homeopathic medicine and more natural means, allopathy being something where you actually concentrate substances, you actually extract and find particular active agents in certain herbs and plants, and you extract them and concentrate them to the point that our body no longer recognizes it, however it has an action, but it literally forces our bodies into that action. Those are not of nature. Allopathic, I believe it was a wrong choice. It was wrong to go down that road, but the people behind allopathic, that direction, saw a chance to make money because you can patent these things. You can take extracts and actually patent them, and you can't patent a natural plant or a natural substance. So again, this natural hemp plant was suppressed by another greedy interest. So we see what happened was the hemp plant was actually made illegal, believe it or not, because they actually referenced the fact that it's of the cannabis family and, it could be used as an intoxicant, but that's an entirely different species. It's an entirely different genus of the cannabis plant. The hemp plant has very little THC, but here's the beauty of it. Cannabinoids are necessary for our body. And to just reflect on that, we have something that was discovered actually in 1988. It's called the endocannabinoid system, endo meaning internal. And even today, only 1 in 7 medical schools even teach that there is such a thing. So if you go to your doctor and ask about the endocannabinoid system, you have probably about a 1 in 7 chance of them actually even knowing what it is, although it is growing because many of the cutting-edge doctors of the day are beginning to tune into the vast amount of research that's happening. In fact, a year ago, there were about 1,500 published studies on CBD. That's the cannabidiol. That's the one particular cannabinoid that's gotten the most attention. Although we thought 80 about a year ago when there was 1,500 published studies. Now we're thinking more like 100 because we're actually naming other cannabinoids, and it's been speculated recently that it could be as many as 150 different cannabinoids, of which THC is one of them. However, they all work together naturally in the hemp plant to bring benefit. Now, a year ago, 1,500 published studies. Now, currently, a week ago, I noticed there was 6,348, not even a week ago. So in about 6 days, there's 8 more studies. So you can see what's happening. These are peer-reviewed published studies. And in the last 6 days, 8 more studies have been published regarding CBD. And in the past year, almost, over 5,000 new studies. So you can see what's happening. And that's why mainstream medicine and mainstream cutting-edge doctors are actually learning about this and understanding we do have an endocannabinoid system. And what that system does and is designed to do and has done for our entire existence on this planet is help balance all of our other systems, kind of like the conductor of an orchestra. So you have all of these systems working together in your body, attempting to keep you well, and Jane mentioned homeostasis, and whether it's your immune system, your cardiovascular system, your digestive system, your neuromuscular system, and all of these systems working to make you who you are, to give you this vessel. And the thing that helps create that balance is this endocannabinoid system that has literally been starved of any external source of cannabinoids. They're produced inside your body as well. In fact, one of the very well-known ones is anandamide, which actually has been known as come to be known as the bliss molecule, and it's the one that when the runner that hits the wall, the marathon runner, and then gets past the wall, and all of a sudden there's just this blissful state that makes that runner feel like they can run forever. They're actually getting secretions of the anandamide, the bliss molecule. And so it's a necessary molecule because it helps keep our brain in that happier state, that more blissful state. And of course, it's supported by all of the other exogenous cannabinoids that we've been deprived of. So many of us have not had maximum levels of anandamide. There's another one of the internal cannabinoids that actually has been known as the Thrive molecule, and it's delivered through mother's milk, in fact, and it helps the baby in the nursing process to actually want to live, believe it or not. It's called Thrive because it takes this organism and allows it to strive to live. And that's so important. And when we're deficient in that, I mean, you can kind of think what that might do to your mood if you no longer feel invigorated or enthused with life, or feel like maybe it'd be better if you weren't alive. And there's a lot of that out there. There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of people taking drugs for these kinds of things. And I touched on the fact that drugs, I like to say they're not smart. In many ways, they're not smart. Sometimes they're necessary. I can't be totally anti-drug here because, that is a system of our modern medicine that can be used and can be used in ways that could be of benefit. So I can't slam it entirely. But drugs are so isolated and concentrated that they're no longer smart, meaning our bodies, in their own innate intelligence and in their own constant attempt to maintain homeostasis, is doing it in a number of ways, through various signaling molecules, through reverse feedback mechanisms, sensors in the brain. You've got the hypothalamus and the pituitary all working, creating these signals, not only molecules, but also neurological signals, keeping the body completely monitored so that signals are coming through the brain and from the brain to the body constantly into all of the various systems in order to help us maintain balance. And then you introduce a natural substance, like let's say a full spectrum hemp product, loaded with all of these beneficial cannabinoids, and it gives the body something that it can utilize to help itself in upscaling various activities, and downscaling some, upscaling others, and actually helping to balance. That's one of the things that research has shown, that the endocannabinoid systems and cannabinoids in general help to bring balance to the body, thereby homeostasis. So you contrast that with a drug. The drug is regarded by the body as something that's driving a chemical equation in one direction. So there's no balance. So for example, if you have something that's driving your blood sugar in one direction or your blood pressure in one direction, that means that you could reach a place where you are taking too much of it, or your body is attempting to maintain that balance and it's driving it in one direction. So you have to be very careful, obviously, with drugs because there's not that balance. But the one thing that I really like and I've learned over the years is that when you are introducing something that's natural, that's been found in nature, that's been utilized throughout time, throughout history, even in Chinese medicine for 5,000 years, and possibly in indigenous people's medicines for much, much longer, double or triple that time, then you know it's withstood the test of time. Then you know you have something quite amazing. And now in modern times, when you see that in a year, 5,000 new published studies have hit, and I looked just now and saw that 641 of those are regarding cancer, 266 regarding Alzheimer's. There's all kinds of studies because they're finding out the benefit is almost ubiquitous and the need is ubiquitous because we as people in our current society are almost all deficient because we haven't had a good source of this substance. And the studies that are coming out, so just a few of the things that are being referenced in these studies are pain. It's amazing what it does with pain and pain signals and helping the body to deal with pain and actually down-regulating that in a manner that pain becomes less noticeable because in many cases inflammation is modulated and down-regulated by CBDs. And inflammation has been understood for many years as the source of disease. You can almost name the particular disease and you can trace it back to an inflammatory process. And the other thing, anxiety. Anxiety is something that in today's world, many people are constantly being drugged for. And again, those drugs aren't necessarily smart. They don't necessarily work with the body or recognized by the body, but they have a particular action that person, is needing, and so they drive that person into that particular mode. And usually, in most cases, then they have to take that anti-anxiety or anti-depression medication for the rest of their lives. And yet, anxiety is one of the things that CBD has been shown to relieve. Cancer, I mentioned that already with 641 studies. It actually helps create apoptosis in cancer cells. That's programmed cell death. So it not only supports your own cells and helps your own cells thrive and balance and be healthy, it helps cancer cells be destroyed. So what an amazing benefit. Nausea, seizures. Seizures are big on the list. There's one pediatrician, Dr. John Hicks, that's written a book because he was so amazed at the benefit that his young patients who had seizures, the benefits they had with CBD, and yet so many different things that he found with these young children were alleviated with CBD. So it's all of these studies have been sparked by just the use, the recognition that's slowly at first and now very rapidly going into the research community Cognitive function. It's becoming really big, just like 266 studies on Alzheimer's. Cognitive function enhanced by CBDs. Diabetes, there's many studies on diabetes. Leaky gut, I want to talk about that one a little bit. One of the huge causes of disease in our current time is because of leaky gut. And that mechanism, I believe, can be traced back to an imbalance within our system of the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems. In our current society, we have people that tend to operate with a lot of stress. There's financial stress, there's stress if you watch the news, there's just stress if you get on the freeway. There's just seems like lots of stress in today's world, and not many outlets for that stress. So what happens is we tend to be sympathetic system dominant, and over time it gets more and more and more dominant. And the sympathetic is the fight, flight, or fright system. It's a necessary system that kicks in when we need that extra, when we need that adrenaline, when we need to take action. And when that's upregulated, we can do amazing things. But the body needs the parasympathetic system because that's your relaxation. That's your system that manages and kicks in and allows for normal secretions like hormones and enzymes, and it downregulates your blood pressure and your heart rate and your parasympathetic nerve and the peristalsis in the gut. So the parasympathetic nervous system really is that nervous system of health. Your sympathetic is that goes out and gets something done quickly, and you have to run from the lion or things like that. You need to fight, flight, or fright. So you need that, but not as often as you need the parasympathetic. So when we become dominant with one over the other, what happens? Well, let's take it, for example, the gut. The parasympathetic helps your body to release enzymes and hormones and the things that help in the digestive process. So if you're sympathetic dominant, you're not getting enough enzymes, and that's one of the critical issues today. People have deficiencies of enzymes, things your body are supposed to release. So what happens when you eat the food and there's not enough enzymes to break it down, it doesn't break down properly, it gets into the part of the gut where you're supposed to have the food broken down by the enzymes, and it's not, it begins to create damage. And what happens is over time, especially if you couple that with overuse of antibiotics or the pesticides and the glyphosates in our food, and all of these things working together to erode the gut wall, then you end up with a gut wall that doesn't have integrity anymore, so you have a leaky gut, meaning those large molecules that weren't properly broken down by the enzymes are now absorbed. What happens then? Your immune system has to attack those large molecules. And because the gut's leaky, your immune system's always attacking, always attacking, always attacking. What happens if you're always attacking, always working 24/7? You get tired. You get slap happy. You don't do your job as well. That's what happens with our nervous system. It can become so out of whack, it can begin to attack its own tissues. Things like if it's the joints, the synovial part of the joint, it becomes rheumatoid arthritis. If it's the skin, it can become lupus and other autoimmune conditions related to skin, like scleroderma, etc. If it's in the nervous system, it can become Parkinson's or ALS or things of this nature. And so it's not a good thing. And we see that in our current trends, it's becoming an epidemic, autoimmune diseases. Well, how can hemp help? How can these cannabinoids help? Well, they're known to balance. They're known to bring balance. And they're noted to bring balance between the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So they'll help upregulate the parasympathetic nervous system if you're sympathetic dominant, which most people are. So it's brilliant as a source foundational tool to help bring that balance, which is homeostasis, which is the balance of all things. And it's very fundamental. And the endocannabinoid system being that conductor of our internal orchestra, when it's fully fed and fully balanced and has lots of cannabinoids that it can use, then it's highly functional. And when it's highly functional, that orchestrated process becomes a beautiful thing, and we have well-being and health. So that is why I believe right now is an important time. CBD was made legal in all 50 states relatively recently, within the last couple of years. And I think behind the scenes, some of the big pharma interests are trying to, they're obviously they've made synthetic CBDs, they've made extracts and synthetics. That's what they do. And because the research is mostly on CBDs, that's what they're thinking is the direction, to isolate and create a drug, a CBD drug, but they're barking up the wrong tree just like they did over 100 years ago. That's not the way our body works. Our body actually utilizes things that come from nature better because of the balance. Even in the research, it's showing that they've coined a term, the entourage effect. When you have all of the cannabinoids working together as found naturally in the plant, you actually do get better results. So I think the direction that Big Pharma wants to take it is to take to get an extract and to make it a drug and then thereby make CBD illegal. Well, that's why it's important to, not necessarily illegal, but you'd have to get a prescription for it. That's why it's important to find a product that's a full spectrum product. And that's what's becoming apparent even in the research. All of those cannabinoids, we thought a year ago 80, now 100, probably up to 150. I don't know where it will stop. We're still discovering new ones. Plus hemp has 480 total ingredients. It has things like terpenes, and it has things like plant sterols and chlorophylls and vitamins and minerals and enzymes. And all of these things were put there for a reason. And that's why it's so important. The words full spectrum will become big in the CBD industry, because you really, it's important to have full spectrum. Even THC, because naturally found in the hemp plant is a little bit of THC, not enough to get you high, but it's one of the cannabinoids that has been shown to work with other cannabinoids to help create utilization so that it's actually utilized more completely, and that balance is important. Each one has its place. Isn't that amazing? So nature actually wins again. We think with our limited brain that we can come in and own something. We can come in and change something that's been around for 10,000 years. And over again, we learned that it's better to utilize it as was intended, as it was given to us. And I think that's what's becoming clear. And that's why I'm really excited that in our attempt to balance in medicine, just like Jane was saying, in my practice, it was all about helping to bring balance. And that's why you really want to work with in a multidisciplinary fashion, because that's balanced. Not every practitioner can see the whole person. I may look at the person from a certain angle. Even though I'm trying to assess the whole individual, I still do it from my own bias, from my own training. So if I'm working with a partner that has another training from a different angle, then we begin to see a little broader picture. And if there's 3 or 4 different people and each seeing a slightly different angle, some may have evolved from Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, or some may be a homeopathic angle, or some may actually be neurological or chiropractic related. And it all comes together to help create that balance. Well, what an amazing tool full spectrum hemp extract is for us to utilize, so we can actually get an entire system in the body working with us and for us. Sorry, Jane, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I have a couple of questions before we open it up for Q&A for you, or for the hemp oil. So we're talking about Sissel's new CBD oil. This is full spectrum, correct?
That is correct, and I want to just jump in on that just quickly. Knowing the benefits of CBD, and living here in Colorado and seeing so many different outlets for it, and we kind of were one of the early adopters, and I began to realize there's a very broad spectrum of quality. Some of these products that have so little actual substance to them, and they're extracts and maybe emphasizing CBD, and they aren't that effective. And so I began to come around, just educating myself on it. There were a couple of purveyors that I found that actually were using full spectrum and finding a much different quality, much different effectiveness, efficacy. So when Sizzle launched their full spectrum CBD product, I thought, that's great. And then I found out they spent 2 years studying not only the best way to do it, but studying everyone else's product and testing it. And they found that some of the products had very little to no CBDs actually, or they were way out of balance because they were extracting and trying to emphasize one over the other. They were using solvents, and often the solvents were ending up in the extract, which made it toxic. Some were actually contaminated with bacteria and things like this. So you begin to realize how important it is to know where you get it from, to know the source. And one thing I was really pleased when Sizzle launched theirs, because they're a 13-year-old company that I've come to trust, their hallmark is their quality and their high quality control. In fact, I know their manufacturing plant, they have an entire room where they take ingredients that come in and they test them before they get into the actual manufacturing part of the plant. Everything is tested for purity. Everything is tested for that it is what where they sourced it, that it actually is what it is. And there's no contaminants. Some companies that are making the CBD products are importing the hemp, and that's a questionable as well. They might be organically grown in that area, but in the transit, it could be sprayed, because when you transport things on a ship, oftentimes those ships, they regularly spray them down because of things like rodents and things you want to keep away. But it can contaminate the plants. It can contaminate the raw materials. So it's real important that you have very high quality control, and Sizzle has that. In fact, not only internally, they have 2 independent labs that inspect each batch, and you can actually scan the label of their product and come up with a third-party laboratory evaluation of their product that it is what it is. It's pure, that it is potent. The potency is what it says on the label. And it is very potent, by the way. It's 150,000 parts per million. And to just contrast that with a typical hemp oil, which is normally around 25 parts per million. So 150,000 parts per million is really high quality. So I'm excited because we now have a great tool, a tool that also we can trust. So, long answer.
Okay. So as far as taking it, I've heard of some CBD oils or hemp oil that are nano enhanced. Now, I know this is broad spectrum, so it has more cannabinoids, et cetera, within the product, but obviously you still put this under your tongue. You got to let it sit for a couple of minutes. But how does it go past the blood-brain barrier? Is it really going into all of the different systems of the body to, relieve the pain, et cetera? So how does this actually work versus some of the others that are out there? Obviously, it's more potent. It's probably a lot more potent than the normal, but again, it's still, how do we judge by a bottle which to go with? So obviously purity is very key, right? But I'd like for you to maybe answer some of the,
Yeah, that's a really good question, because this is very important, because it's such a big marketplace. It's speculated to be a $22 billion a year market within the next couple of years. It's speculated that it could be as big or bigger than all the other nutritional products combined, and bigger than NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, movies, and TV combined. That's how big it is.
Wow.
So everybody wants a piece of it. So they run out and make a CBD product and start advertising it and hope they can, catch some of this wave. But it's really important, and that's why I have so much respect for Sizzle. Again, I mean, I did even before this, but they waited 2 years to do it right, to research everything about it, and to source the ingredients correctly. And some companies have nano-enhanced. Well, that relies on an ultrasound technique to break down the size of the constituent parts, and making it able to go through the mucosal membranes more easily. But it adds a question mark. Yeah, it adds a question mark of what is the ultrasonic technology affecting? Okay, it's absorbing, but is it affecting its efficacy? Sizzle went with a more natural process using medium chain triglycerides to make it more easily absorbable. So utilizing something natural as a carrier molecule to help it absorb more easily, but leaving the compounds inherent in the hemp plant a little more in the state that just like I was saying earlier, it's better to leave it the way nature gave it to us, I believe. There are certain things that we mess up when we try to enhance it. And I think that's been shown over and over again. So I think Sizzle made the right choice there. There was another part of your question, I think. Did I answer it? Or?
No, I think you answered that. Yes. I think most of us are pretty aware of, the CBD oil, the hemp oil product. So I think it's going to have to be to try it and see for ourselves, how effective it is in regards to whatever pains or neurological issues that people might have. I guess my other question that I have is, kids, how about children? I mean, can children take it without any problems at all, especially the ones that have ADHD, any neurological types of disorders or whatever?
There has been research done with children, and in fact, I mentioned John Hicks. He wrote a book, Medicinal Power of Cannabis, and someone that's wondering about children might want to get that book, Medicinal Power of Cannabis. He's a pediatrician, and he noticed amazing benefits. A child, of course, you would want to, of course, based on weight, you would definitely want to give them less. But that's the beauty of having something that comes from nature. It's a food, basically. So it's you just give a little less for a child, but I definitely recommend John Hicks' books for people wanting to address children. But he was noticing tremendous benefit, children that had seizures and were on medications, and ADHD and things like this. So yes, it has been researched, and it is highly noted, yes.
All right. Well, why don't I go ahead and open up the lines a little bit? So I'm going to ask people if they have a question in regards to this new CBD oil by Sizzle to go ahead and ask a question. So all of you, if you have a question, this is for Dr. Shaw. Go ahead and press 1. And I'm going to start at the bottom up because I know the ones at the very top here are basically questions for Zorra. So if you have a question, please don't be shy. Let's go ahead and see what we could do about maybe answering some of your questions regarding the new Sizzle CBD oil. Okay, so let me go ahead and let's start off with this individual, see what this person has to ask. All right, 775 ending in 9099. I have Dr. Shaw here with us. Hello?
Hello. Yes, this is Chris. I am in
Hi, Chris.
Reno Sparks. How are you doing?
Good.
This has been a very interesting call. And do you have products that we can buy that will get that's a full spectrum that'll help our system?
Oh, yes, of course. You can always go to our website and then go over and, So, again, for all of you, if you're interested in looking up the new CBD oil with Sizzle, just go to our Sizzle website, which is ZaraQuasar.sizzle.net. So it's Zaraya, ZaraQuasar. ZaraQuasar.sizzle, SISEL.net.
Oh, super. Thank you so much. This has been very educational, and I appreciate that.
Do you have a question for Dr. Shaw at all, Chris?
That was my question. What is the best thing for somebody in their 70s to be taking for a healthier body and good memory?
Well, as we get each decade we kind of exponentially lose certain abilities, and as you enter into the 70s, much of your ability to produce the enzymes you need, the hormones you need, the signaling molecules, everything begins to slow down. And so it's really important, I think, to upregulate those kinds of things or help your body upregulate it, because it's a natural process. We are naturally supposed to slow down a bit as we get older. I think that comes even with the wisdom, as we grow older, we get wiser. And but to help our body be able to upregulate as needed, I think that's the important thing. Not so much to replace, like let's say a good example of that's hormone replacement therapy. If there was a good way to help the body to upregulate something on its own, because it recognizes your body needs it, then upregulating it is done in-house. And the endocannabinoid system has been known to be very, very connected to all of the other systems and very balancing of it. So, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I would definitely say the full spectrum hemp product as we get older to help our bodies remain in balance naturally is real important.
Very good.
So is the product that we're looking for to purchase called the full spectrum?
Yeah, it's a full spectrum. It's actually, the name of it is Sizzle Safe CBD full spectrum hemp extract. So it's a concentrated extract of the hemp plant, but in a full spectrum, completely balanced everything that's in the hemp plant. It's just concentrated to 150,000 parts per million, so it doesn't take much. On the label, it says 1 dropper full a day and up to 2 dropper fulls a day. 2 dropper fulls a day would be for that person really maybe struggling or really in need. I would definitely start maybe even with a half a dropper full and work your way up. Because it's a strong product. I'm getting a lot of feedback from it, and one of my friends had a chronic cough, and within 2 days it was gone. Another lady had shoulder pain, and she said within 20 minutes it was like 80% better. We're getting all kinds of people calling with different things that they're noticing, and some of these people had tried numerous other CBD products, So everything from better sleep to just feeling more relaxed, feeling more alive, feeling just better in their own skin. Just people are really warming up to this and really liking it. So we're pretty excited about it.
Very
Super.
good.
Well, I am
Very good.
definitely going
Thank
to
you.
try it.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
Chris. Yeah, thank
You're welcome.
you. Thank you for your question. All right, so let's go ahead and go with, thank you for that, Chris. Good question. 415 ending in 3081. You're on the call. You're on our call with Dr. Shaw. Hello.
Hello?
3081. Yes. Could you just
Hey,
tell
how
us
you
who
doing?
you are?
I was wondering. I came on early, or late, should I say? I was wondering, what's the update on the 800 numbers? If you got any knowledge on that?
Well, yeah, we did talk about that already. I will just tell you that we're hoping and expecting that it should be coming out hopefully by this weekend.
Oh, this weekend. Okay. All right. Is that first-hand knowledge or?
Well, that's already, from 3 or 4 different sources. So that's what we're expecting. We're waiting for the Trump to shut down the border.
Okay. Right on by this weekend. So thank you.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye. All right. So our next person is okay, so this is 405 ending in 4820. You're on the air with Dr. Shaw. Hello?
I had a question for Zorra.
Oh, you have a question for Zorra. Okay, you
Yes.
want to, what I wanted to do is I wanted to get some questions for Dr. Shaw. So just hang in there, okay? Hang in there. Let's see if I could find another person here. I'm going to put you back on mute here. And then we have 716 ending in 6160.
Hello.
6160. Hello.
Hello.
Tell us who you
My
are
name's
and where
Jerry.
you're calling from.
Buffalo,
Jerry?
New York. I have a question. Oh, first of all, God bless everyone on the call. I have a question for Dr. Shaw regarding the concentration of CBD. A lot of the products on the market do not differentiate between if it's from hemp seed oil or an actual extraction process. And my understanding is the CBD has higher concentrations coming out of the extraction process. The seeds have very low CBD concentration, but many other nutrients. Is there one CBD oil, or I should say, is the extracted oils higher in concentration and better for you? Do they contain the full spectrum? A lot of the products just say from hemp seed oils. If he could explain that in better detail.
Sure. The oil from the seed actually has very little CBD, and that doesn't mean that it's not good. It has some noted effects, but the full spectrum is important because that is extracted from the flower, the leaf, the stalk, the entire plant. When you get these hemp seed oil, it actually has very little CBD, which seems contrary to, kind of counterintuitive. You'd think the highest amounts would be in the seed, but in this case, it's in actually the entire plant actually has, and the entire plant has better balance of all of the different cannabinoids. So when you see a product that says hemp seed oil, it's actually easier to extract it from the seed, the actual hemp seed oil, but you're limiting yourself from a full spectrum effect, from that entourage effect. So you're better off getting a full spectrum plant.
That's my understanding, and a lot of the products say it's cold pressed from a seed, and I couldn't find any products that were actually said it was actually extracted, and they don't give the concentrations. So
yeah, it's actually a fairly low. Those are generally fairly low quality, and if you test them, there's very little CBD, and you're not getting the full balance of all of the other cannabinoids. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
But you're very welcome. That's why it's very important that we educate ourselves. Yep.
Very good question.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. You as well. All right. Let's go ahead and go with 314 ending in 314 ending in 2036. 2036.
Hello,
You're on the air with Dr. Shaw. Yes.
Yes, Jane. Dr. Shaw, thank you. This is Jim from St. Louis.
Okay, Jim.
You hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, good. Doctor, I'm holding a bottle my brother gave me of 99% pure hemp oil, herbal drops. It's got 2 milligrams of phytocannabinoid hemp oil. Is there a certain milligram with your stuff that you recommend?
Yeah. Well, our bottle is a 1,500 milligram bottle, and yeah. Gives you an idea.
What would something like that cost? I know this stuff they're selling at the local stores now are in the $60-$70 range for a little bottle.
Yeah, exactly. This is a 1,500 milligram product, and it is 60 milliliters. So you're talking a larger bottle, and so it would easily be a 2-month supply. And this one runs 150, which is really a reasonable price when you compare other companies that have a product that's similar. You're running in that range. In fact, it's a good price. Yeah, I know of a company that has a full spectrum oil that might be similar in quality, that actually is half the amount for $100. So for this amount, that you're paying $200 with them. So I like the fact that Sizzle has their such high quality control, and the fact that they have 2 independent labs actually testing it. That way we have assurance that it is what it is. So I'm really.
Yeah. Can I tell you the name of this lab on this bottle?
Sure.
That'd be all right?
It's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you.
Well, it says Ultimate Labs. Have you heard of that?
I have not. There's so many out there. It's like,
So 1,500 milligrams is. So should we just use a drop or the whole tube of the oil when we get it?
No, you definitely want to go easy with. You want to go easy with this one because it's very concentrated, even to the point of using maybe a half a dropper full for a week or so, and just seeing how it treats you, and then go to a full dropper. I think most people would probably resonate around a full dropper. That would be a 2-month supply.
Yeah. Take that every day?
You wouldn't have to. Keep in mind that this is a natural food, and it's actually feeding a part of your body that's literally starving for cannabinoids, and almost everyone's bodies are. So any amount that you're giving yourself, even every other day or every third day, is going to be beneficial. But every day, I think, is ideal support because your body will get that support every day.
I know this stuff tastes like oil. Is that about the right taste?
Yeah. They actually flavor this one with this one has a little bit of a citrus, a little orange flavor. Kind of very pleasant, actually. It helps to overcome the taste of the oil. Yeah.
Well, got an oily taste. Okay. Well, thanks for your time and your help, and I will be ordering.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Okay.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Wow, we're moving right along over here, Dr. Shaw. All right. I think I'm going to go. Let me go over here to 415 ending in 3081. Maybe I've already done this. I've already done this. Sorry about that. Okay. Next person is 405 ending in 4820. 4820, you're on the air with Dr. Shaw.
I was on the question for Zoa.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. We'll put you back on hold. And let me see. We'll try. Let me see. I think I had. Okay. Here we go. 941 ending in 2599. Hello.
Yes,
You're on the air with Dr. Shaw.
Thank you. This is Kathy from Florida. And I'm wondering, Dr. Shaw, if this would help renal function.
There's many things that affect renal function. Again, the kidneys are an organ of balance. They balance, they're known to balance minerals. That's why, if you have a kidney disease, they start talking minerals, potassium, and, be careful with potassium in your diet, things like this. Your kidneys are an organ of balance. But in Chinese medicine, they also help to balance body temperature. They're known to be, in Chinese medicine, a yin organ, a dense organ in our bodies, which means that it's part of our core. It's part of our core energy, our core strength. And there are many things that affect kidney function, and we could go down the list. One thing is blood pressure. Another thing is blood sugar. So many different things can be detrimental to the kidney function. So when you realize that, it's vital, I think, to introduce something to your body to help create balance. And that's one of the things that the research keeps pointing out about hemp, full-spectrum hemp, is it helps your body. It's that conductor of the orchestra of all the systems of the body. If you help to bring them into balance, you're taking major stress off the kidneys, if you understand it from that point. Plus, it allows your body, with the balancing of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, if you're sympathetic dominant, you're destroying your kidneys because your blood pressure's high, aldosterone, cortisol, and things are out of control. You've got to bring that back into balance. And full-spectrum hemp has been shown to help balance the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system back into a manner that your body is no longer sympathetic dominant, but parasympathetic, of course, in balance. So that would definitely help the kidneys, without question.
May I ask one more quick question about gout?
Sure.
Can it help? I know it can help relieve the symptoms of gout, the pain. But again, it's about putting balance back into the body the same way as it would affect renal function. Because I'm sure that the liver and the kidney and the pancreas, they're all involved together here.
Well, again, and you have to start thinking about the whole body and how it functions because, yes, the liver, the kidney, it's all involved. And if you're bringing balance to the entire system, then what happens, let's just go back to the example I gave about if you're bringing balance between the nervous systems and you're allowing the parasympathetic to regain its natural control so you can secrete the right enzymes and the hormones can be either up or down regulated so that they're more normal. Then what happens is your digestion can proceed more normally. It gives a chance for the gut to heal, which takes the immune system into a state of rest and ease. It allows, instead of those constant barrage the liver is getting of the antigen and antibody complexes, because the immune system is always on and the liver is just dealing with this constant barrage. Again, you want to bring balance. Okay. And there's no better way that I know of, because just going over the research is just mind-boggling. Right now, I think this is going to change the landscape of our ability to maintain homeostasis, which is important for the liver, it's important for the kidneys, it's important for the gut, it's important for the heart, it's important for the brain. By the way, mentioning the brain, the endocannabinoid system has the most receptor-heavy system of our entire body, which is amazing because that's even superior or more than the nervous system. So one thing that I found in my research was the brain actually has receptor sites for cannabinoids, and it's the only thing that we can source outside of our bodies that the brain has receptor sites for. And so that shows you how important it is for us. And that's part of the question I didn't answer, Jane, earlier when I asked if I answered all the questions. The blood-brain barrier. Yes, cannabinoids they do penetrate the blood-brain barrier, and naturally so. They were intended so. There are receptor sites in the brain for them. So absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dr. Shaw.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the question.
Okay. And I think we have like a couple more. Let me see. 405 ending in 4820. Do you have a question for Dr. Shaw?
No, that is a question for Zorra.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, let me go ahead and put you back on mute here. And then, let's see. And I don't know what, I think we might have answered this one. 407 ending in 9191. Have we spoken with you?
No.
Hello? No. Okay.
This is Beverly in Florida. I have a question.
Hey, Beverly.
Yes. The cannabinoids going through the blood-brain barrier would then help the pineal gland because the fluoride calcifies it, as I understand. And then what about the hearing and vision?
There are receptor sites all through the brain for cannabinoids. And the limbic system is highly noted. And the limbic system is one of those systems that's kind of in the brain, in between the subconscious and conscious part of the brain, kind of as a filter. And in that, it plays perfectly into what the endocannabinoid system is about. The limbic system is that balancing part of our brain, which does involve sensory and of course sensory and motor. So if you're allowing that balance to happen and allowing the limbic system to do its job, and getting all of the regulatory activity that the myriad of activity that it's having to do and having to attend to, and allowing it to do it more easily, then you're going to note that there's going to be more attention to where it is needed neurologically. So if the system is shutting down, like we had the question, we're in our 70s, we're getting older, and the system is naturally down-regulating itself because, a life of maybe stress and we're just getting tired, as we get older. So what a great tool to allow our bodies to have that state that it can get into where it can actually focus and balance and do the things it needs. So yes, I hate to again sound like it's a panacea, but it really is. The more you dig into the research, the more you realize it kind of is a panacea. And we denied that would ever exist in medicine because you always think that, for specific conditions, you got to come up with some specific protocol. And that's the beauty of hemp and the disaster of it being actually made illegal and having people have no access to it. And thank God that we can have access to it now, because now we have the ability for our bodies to actually function in a more relaxed, more complete way. And yes, it does include hearing and vision.
Wow. And toxicity, general toxins in the body, it would help to clear those out too.
yes, it's been noted as that, but also you have to think, what are the organs of detoxification? You have the liver, you have the kidneys, you have the skin, you have the lungs. If you're up-regulating their ability to function and, down-regulating parts of them that may be overactive and causing inflammation, you're creating that balance, then the body will naturally be able to detoxify itself more easily. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You're
Bob.
welcome. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. And let me see if this person here is for Zorra, or let's see, it would be 428 248. Here we go. Let's see. 428 ending in 5093. Have we spoken with you? 248 ending in 5093. Is this a question for Dr. Shaw or for Zorra? Hello? Okay. All right. We're just going to go ahead, and I think that's really it for now. I think we've kind of covered all of the bases here. So, Dr. Shaw, that was a marvelous presentation and really some really wonderful, great questions for everyone to help them understand more about Sizzle's new CBD oil. It sounds fantastic. I think we're just going to have to try it.
Well, I think you'll be doing yourself a favor if you do. And it's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited that we have such a fantastic tool for folks, and I really appreciate being on the call with you, Jane, always. And Zorra, I really appreciate you both. Amazing. So, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Zorra, before Dr. Shaw leaves, do you have any questions for him regarding anything or the product?
No.
Okay, I think you covered it completely then, Dr. Shaw. Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure to have you on our call. I'm sure this is not the last time at all. So thank you for being here with us and presenting the CBD oil from Sizzle.
Anytime you ask, and I'll be here. Thank you so much.
Oh,
God bless.
So
have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Let's go ahead now, and let's see. Okay. I think at this point what we'll do now is we'll bring Zorra back, and of course Zorra is here, and maybe we can go ahead and move forward and ask any other questions that people may have for Zorra. It was a great presentation with Dr. Shaw regarding the newest CBD oil by Sizzle. Again, it's organic. They utilize, make sure that there are no pesticides and anything that's toxic within it. So it's very safe and it's pure. So, for those that can do it, go ahead and try it out for yourself. And maybe on the next call that we have or in the next month or so, you can let us know a little bit about how you feel about the new product by Sizzle. Now, Zorra, you're here with us?
Indeed.
Good. Well, I think what we'll do now for everyone that's on the board here, and we're going to go ahead now and ask people if you have any questions for Zorra. All right, so here we go.
Indeed.
Yes, 832 ending in 9019. Welcome.
Oh, hi, Jane. This is Janet Ariel.
Oh, Janet, hello. How are you?
Hi, love. I'm great. How are you? Nice to talk to you all.
Wonderful to hear your voice.
My question is, when the RV happens, you said something before about signing your name in all capitals.
I think Soraya had said that.
Okay, so is that not important?
They haven't mentioned that. not in the presentation they've given so far. Go ahead, Zorra.
When you sign your name, you at the end of your name you put a circle with a C in it.
Oh, that's it. That's it, Zorra. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
love you
so
all.
that it's like a love you all too. Talk to you soon, Jen.
Bye.
And bye. And that's actually it's a copyright, right, Zorra?
Indeed.
Right. So that'll help to protect you.
Indeed.
Okay. So here we go with the next one. This is 208, ending in 8394. You have a question for Zorra? Hello?
Indeed.
Okay.
208, ending in 8394. You have a question for Zorra?
Hi, Jane.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We
okay.
can.
I'm sorry, Jane. Jane. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We can.
Okay. When this is Pawnee, Pawnee in Idaho. Okay, I just wanted to ask Zorro, are you going to have a meeting for everybody after we get our money to help us if we need any help? I mean, we've done everything, the trust, and we have the financial manager. But if in case we want to help you with your projects too.
Okay. Zorra?
Indeed.
Yes. Would you like to answer that question for Pawnee?
Well, when we get the 800 numbers, Zorra and Quasar will have a call about that, and to bring forth the 800 number to the people. And that will be listed on our site. The 800 number will be listed on our site too. And you want to, we may have Dr. Kia come on and do one more call in regards to procedure that you will need to do in order to get your preparation in order. Because understand, after the RV, after you have exchanged, those who exchange with the contract rate or higher will be signing what is termed as an NDA, and you will not be able to speak of it after that. So Zorra and Quasar will have a call. Once they receive the 800 numbers, they will have a call in regards to it, and that will be it, because they will have to, shortly after, they will have to call to get their appointments for their exchange. At that point, they will not be able to speak of it anymore.
Right. Excuse me, Zorra. I think what Pawnee is referring to is that are we going to be able to have a call after the RV, maybe for Pawnee had already mentioned that maybe she would like to be able to assist us in the process with humanitarian projects. Is that correct, Pawnee?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So we will. We will have other calls following, right, the RV. But we will never talk about currencies anymore after that. We'll talk about projects.
No, we will not talk about the rates or what we got for them. Any of that.
Right. Nothing.
You will
Right.
But yes, we will have other calls, but it will not be in on the subject of the RV.
Okay. I really appreciate that because I understand about the non-disclosure, and I know you can't talk about money or anything, but my concern is that I don't feel like my veil is lifting to the point where I can hear my higher self guiding me, and I want to make sure that I do everything right. Now, we've done the trust and we have the wealth manager, and but I want to make sure, because, probably like a lot of people out on the call, we're going to be, like you say, trillionaires. We're going to have enough money that we want it to go. We want to be the best distributors that we can be.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you this. Regarding your wealth, do not come and do what is termed as get your exchange and take on what is termed as a lottery mind. A lottery mind is where you get your currency and you go crazy with it. And before you know it, it is gone. So what you do is to do what is termed as to put it in your accounts. If you get an interest-bearing account, then you live off the interest, not the principal. You live off the interest, and you will never run out of money, ever.
Okay, but I don't see how you can run out of money if you are, a $200,000 trillion guy. I mean, how can you run out of money? And I keep thinking about what are the responsibilities.
Many people understand when many people win a lottery, they take on the persona of a lottery mind, thinking they go out and they buy and buy and buy and buy. And do not manage their currency. This is just an example, but it is to simply say you put your principal into your accounts and you live off of the interest only. That way, you will never. Speaking of people who win a lottery, they would never run out of money if they live off the interest only and not even touch the principal. So,
right. Zorra?
Indeed.
I just wanted to mention to everyone, and Pawnee, that's really wonderful of you to have mentioned that in regards to further calls with us, which we will have, because we understand exactly what you're saying. And one of the key things, however, and I want everybody to know this, is when you go into exchange, one, if you could go there by yourself, or if you have a spouse, just make sure that you know that they're going to have to probably sign an NDA as well. But one of the key things is when you go in, remember that with the amount of wealth that you have, you will have at your disposal, you will have people there to assist you in every way possible. You could put together, you say, you know what, I need some more secure type of advice here. I need a risk management team, and they'll help you to put that together. You will have assistance. Your personal assistant can be had. When you let them know, you know what, I think I'm going to need some assistance here with this and how I go forward with this particular project, et cetera, you will have teams that you can put together to help you as far as how you're going to distribute your wealth. We'll talk a little bit more about this, but know that and again, the other thing too that people have come up in terms of questions is, they see Wells Fargo, HSBC as being part of kind of like the banks, and we want to get away from banks. if you've got $1 trillion, if you've got millions of money, one of the key things that you will be able to do is have your own bank. Have a private bank. You could have, and again, you'll have wealth advisors. You'll have advisors left and right. I want to be able to purchase a car or whatever. And how should I do this so that it's not in my name? You have a wealth of people that will be there to guide you and help you along the way. Now, we'll help you also, but remember, we're not financial advisors. That's why you have them there. If you want to work with Wells Fargo, you like the people that are there, that's great. If you don't, go and, go from there. And then if you have other independent people that you would want to work with, whether it's a family office or whether it's your own people that you've known for years, work with them. So you're going to be able to do all of this all together. Without a problem. You really will have the support of where you go to get that assistance. I don't know if that's helpful.
Oh, that was very helpful. Thank you so much. Love all of you. Okay, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
We love you. We'll be talking. Bye-bye.
Good.
All right, Pawnee. All right. So our next caller here is, and we have about 10 minutes, so that's pretty good. We have 248 ending in 5093. Welcome. 248 ending in 5093. You have a question for Zorra? Okay. So we'll go to the next caller. And I think I still have Beverly here. I'll see if Beverly, do you have a question for Zorra?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay.
I'm very concerned when the Terra Christa expands. I don't mind cities being destroyed. Will there be any remnants of the great art left? What will happen? I can see that music would go on because the music is within you. But when it's a visual art, like the Taj Mahal or a great cathedral or a painting, what happens to those?
Understand, all structures, like the, what you call the wonders of the world, as you term it, they will be gone. They will be gone. The artwork, that will be saved, of course. But what is termed as the structures themselves will be dust, rubble.
Yes.
But there will be no there to worry about it because they will already be resituated in other star systems, in hollow Earth, inner Earth, and other galaxies and planets. So you will not need to worry about that. And I said your works of art and things of that nature, all of that would be put away anyway. Collected prior to what you call the gathering. The peoples that are in charge of those would collect them and put them away for future generations. And of course, they would take them with them into the ships. Understand, all of your what you call your artwork and paintings and things of that nature. Those are things that you want to, preserve. So you are definitely going to. There would be a vessel that would collect all of in a matter of seconds. So all the the works of art and things of that nature would all be covered.
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen
very good.
Okay.
Thanks.
But the
Thank you.
churches will be Taj Mahal gone. What's called Paris Eiffel Tower gone. Paris gone. No need for it anyway, because it is the planet is re-terraforming entirely. And
thank you, Zorra.
Understand, when you do come back to Earth, you will be going into hollow Earth, not on the surface. The surface will be like a garden or like a park, a state park, a world park for rest and relaxation. You will be able to visit it, but not stay, because your residence will be in the hollow of the earth.
We have like about 4 minutes left, Zorra. So if I can, let's see if we can get in 3 or 4 more callers in. So one question per person. So let's be real quick about this. 248 ending in 5093. 5093. Hello.
Hello, Zorra. Hi, can you hear me?
Of course.
Hi, Zorra. How are you?
I am wonderful, and how be you?
I'm doing great. It's really nice to finally speak to you. I've always been wanting to speak with you. But in regards to the wealth distribution, and I know the things that you said was important to have, and like the trust, and a lot of things, and a lot of people have a trust. But how about those, the trust still costs money? And there's a lot of people out there who just don't have funds right now. So
you will have after the RV.
So you can just get the trust after the RV.
Of course you can.
Okay.
Yes,
great.
Just make sure that if you don't have a trust, make sure that you put all of your currencies, keep them separate, ZIMs versus, the other currencies separately, and put them in non-interest bearing accounts. So folks, you know what? We'll have another call during, or whether it's in a couple of days. If we get the 800 numbers, we'll go through everything in detail for you. That will help everyone who has questions in regards to the RV. Well, I'm going to ask Dr. Keir to be with us, and if she's listening. So much love to all of you. Zorra, let's send everybody a love energy. 5,
2, 1, receive.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We receive great wealth and abundance for ourselves, families, and the world, and we will be able to do this professionally and well and guided, and everything will work out perfectly for everyone. Much love to all of you. We will be talking soon again, and thank you for being here. Zorra?
Indeed. Yes.
Go ahead, Zorra.